make those first because you get a real sense of accomplishment. I got this quilt really started.
Yeah, at least half done at 60 blocks.
Yeah.
You're on your way.
And it feels good.
Oh,
to do
yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah.
All right, but now let's look at the harder block.
Yeah. It takes a little bit more time. And a little bit more concentration, too.
Yeah. All right, in this quilt, on this block, let's grab this little pile. We have several kinds of units. We have a dark colored square to the center. We have this strange looking unit.
Oh, I saw
that
these.
a quilter Doreen Speckman called Peaky and Spike. There are lots of names for it, but that's
like
one
that
a lot of people know.
Yeah.
The other unit that we have is a 4-patch unit. Those are the 3 kinds of things that we need. Again, we're going to cut pieces for this and the centers from our 3.5-inch strips. We're going to use the 2-inch strips to cut these.
Great. Because you're going to do strip sets on those.
So let's do this first because this is easy.
Good idea.
And I'm not cutting all those little squares.
No way.
So what we did was we made strip sets. So we sewed 2-inch strips together. And then, depending how you want to do this, you can just put these right sides together.
Let's see, 2.5. Did you sew 2-inch strips? Or did you sew...
They're 2.
Okay.
Okay. Because these will finish 1.5. Okay, so you just drop these right together.
That's another efficiency, because you get them nestled so they're ready to sew as soon as you get them cut.
Or you can, after you've been cut, you can mix them all out. And again, I'm just going to trim the edge of this with my left hand. Keep my right hand out of the way. The strips were cut 2 inches. So we want to come across this and do 2-inch strips. Now, here's a little trick I really like. Oh, I like it. You're going to cut lots of 2-inch things off here. This ruler is 8 inches wide. If we start with this ruler over here,
See what you're doing
cut
here.
8, back up to 6.
Easier to line up, isn't it?
Boom, boom, boom. Now come back to 4. Now back up to 2. And then a whole batch of these.
You've done this before.
Yeah, now I can do that when the math's easy.
Right, exactly.
The 1/4 inches, not so much.
No, but that isn't easy.
2, 4, 6, 8, I can handle. I can handle 1.5, or, you know. But so when it's easy math, that's what you have.
And those are just ready to
Okay.
fire off.
Now, what we're going to do is we're going to have you sew 2 of these together. And there's a trick to getting these corners to match up. And it's sort of opposite of what you think. But when you put these together, if you we've pressed toward the dark, which is always a good policy. You put it so that the seam allowance is going to be that's going to be flipped away from you on top when you sew. Your sewing machine, if it has a tendency to shove things, will shove these into a perfect match. If you have it the other way, let's see if I can manage that.
It's facing toward me, right?
Right, if you were sewing here,
Mm-hmm.
and if your sewing machine shoves it at all, it will tend to shove this ahead and shove it out of the match. So, the rule is,
Great.
seam allowance flipped away from you.
So great. And it is a little counter to what you might think. You might want to think, oh, I want it.
And I just kind of feel that and feel that feels smooth. And then that will usually just give you a good match. So you fire that through. While you're doing that, I'm going to clear some of these things away, and we are going to look at the next type of unit we're going to make.
This sewing machine has a laser on it, Liz. Did you know that?
Oh, that's cool.
It is really
I
cool.
don't have one. Looks
See,
fun.
look, I turned it on. Isn't that neat?
Yeah. Stack up some strips here. How'd you get my see? Look.
Pretty cute. Yeah, that is awesome.
It's the magic of the match.
It's the magic of the match.
Whenever you can make that happen, you'll be happy with
It
that.
is. It's cute. It's absolutely perfect. Perfect. Not many things in life you can say.
So, when I had all these strips for my friends, I stacked them up, and I can usually comfortably cut somewhere between 2 and 4 layers. So we're going to do 3 layers right now. That's how many strips I've got. And we're going to use, what we're going to make right now is this unit.
The funky
Peaky and Spike
Spike
Tri-Rex unit.
Yeah.
Lots of names for it. And it has this isosceles triangle, and then it has these 2 funny, long, pointy triangles that go to the sides. This is the trickiest part of the whole quilt, is making these. So we're going to use special rulers for that.
Because those corners, you got to really make
So what we have is a big triangle to cut the center, the dark piece, and a skinny triangle to cut the little outside pieces. And those are lopped off on the ends so that we can cut those pieces from those 3.5-inch strips.
An engineered corner, that's what we call
Got
it.
an engineered corner. So let's cut our colored pieces. Now we'd also need colored squares, 3.5-inch squares. And we showed you how to do that.
You got it. That's easy.
So we're going to lay this ruler down. In this case, the 3.5-inch line, and this ruler is along one edge of the strip, and the flat part of the top of the ruler is even with the top of our strip. And we're going to cut on both sides. It's always hard to reach around yourself and not cut the ruler. Oh, I made it. Okay. So there's one batch. See, the easy side's the side I didn't get. Okay, there we go. So there's one batch. Now to cut the next ones, and keep things lined up, we're going to flip the ruler around. This time the little flat tip is on this side of the strip. And let me get a little more aggressive with mine.
I say cut with commitment.
Yep. And so we would just go down the strip and cut those pieces. So that's what we would do from the dark fabrics.
You
from
cut
the prints.
a lot of them.
You need a lot of them depending how big your quilt is.
Right.
Alright.
And then you got the other side.
I got the other side.
And with a solid, you don't have a pretty side and a wrong side.
No, but I want to point one thing out. If you were cutting this particular unit and you were not using a solid, you need lefties and righties.
You need to reverse your piece. Yeah.
Yeah, these are mirror images of each other. With a solid color, we cut them all, it doesn't matter.
Because you can just flip the piece as you need. Right.
But if these happen to be print for another quilt that you're making, which fabric the right side's good. Alright, so what I'm going to do, since this is easier to hold, I'm going to straighten this side of the strip with this ruler. Alright, now, we need this part of the tool set, and we're going to lay it down again, the 3.5-inch mark along that edge, the flat part at the top, and there's a little angled tip.
So little, you don't think it matters, but it does.
Really important.
Really, really matters.
That's part of our engineered corner.
Absolutely.
So we're going to cut here, and then we're going to lop that little tip off.
You've got to do it. And just a little punch with the rotary cutter is usually enough to get it off.
So you can see that has that little point
It
taken
makes
off.
all the difference.
Cut the next one. I'm going to flip it around. We're going to cut. And now we're going to get that little tip. Don't forget the little tip, because the little tip is really helpful. So there's the pieces that we're going to need to go with our spikes. What do you think of our spikes?
Spikes are, here they are.
Oh, good, we need those.
I like this purple one. I love that color.
Okay, so let's open it up here. So, you want it to come out like this. So we're going to flip this over.
This is where that corner
And this is where that lopped off corner comes. You want to set this so that that little point's even with that side and like that. When you sew that then and open it up, we'll get what we're looking for.
I think people may get alarmed when they don't see, they try to chop off some of their triangle, but you have seam-allowance on every side.
Don't chop till you look first, chop later.
Exactly.
Alright, so sew that.
Because that seam allowance on every side is going to reduce your triangle.
Important, as always, to use a 1/4-inch seam allowance. That's what's built in, so that's what you want to use.
And for more tips, the website, thompsonporter.com, there's all kinds of tips for
And
precision sewing, all kinds
list of all the tools that we used on the programs. So there's one side done. I just kind of fingered. Alright. So, looks funny at that corner. That's correct.
okay.
So now we're going to take our next one. Put that up here. Flip it, line up that corner. Now I want you to sew that one there.
When you start doing a bunch of these, boy, you can really just...
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna fire this through.
Now these take a little time to make. The trick is get that little thing lopped off there so you know how to line it up right.
Otherwise, you'll be measuring, you'll be trying to line up for
it'll make you crazy.
so long.
So there's our unit. Here are the quality control points to look at. You want to make sure that you have a 1/4 inch from the tip of the dot to this white edge, and that your seam that runs this way, you've got this little leftover stuff here. Now, if you want to trim it all, you're just going to trim this even.
Okay.
And this even.
Well, I just learned something because I don't know that I would.
But it should have some stuff sticking out here on the end. Now, hopefully you can see that real well. This seam does not come right through the corner. And the reason is if you come up a 1/4 inch, there's our point. We need to have that this way and this way.
Great.
So that's the tricky part. Now, let's just grab the rows here that we have. And when I was making this flower, I had to fight an urge.
Yes.
I kept wanting to put the dark of my peking spike against the dark triangle. Wrong. The light goes there.
Yes, the brain just kind of does gravitate. This seems counter to put the
Get
light.
one made correctly, then go from there.
Put it up on your design wall. You can keep referring.
So those are the 3 rows. You have 4 patches, the peking spike, and the square. So now let's look at the 2 blocks again.
Good idea.
And we've got the blocks laid out over here on the design wall where we have the shoe fly, the 5440 like alternating. The magic happens now when we put them together. So let's do that.
As we do this, you should be able to see how those curves, quote unquote, start to happen. Let's see. I'm just gonna stick this.
Okay, we're going down.
Yeah, it's gonna go up. We'll get there eventually. Okay. Yeah.
Now you should be seeing one of the circles happening here in the quilt.
Great. Now one of your friends made another version.
I mentioned there were 4 of us who pooled our fabrics, and one of those people was a quilter from Houston, Texas area. She lives in Katy. Her name is Cynthia Rigoni, and this is the quilt that she made. She spent less time in her center. She has about 63 blocks at her center.
But she's no slouch.
No, she spent her time adding the wonderful applique border.
It's gorgeous.
And what I love on that border is that she used rickrack for her vine. She said she had to do quite a bit of hunting to find just that 30s green for the rickrack. And the neat thing is rickrack actually came into being around the 1930s.
Really? I didn't know that.
It was really perfect on a 30s quilt. So she did her vine that way, which saved her having to fold all that bias.
She's smart lady.
Yeah. And then added some flowers.
The flowers are gorgeous. She's fussy cut the centers of the flowers so there's even more detail, and there's little robins or those bluebirds up there. Just absolutely.
And then I love the butterflies and kind of the sunflower effect at the corners. Then her center of her quilt, she didn't do anything very exciting for the quilting. It's just going to quilt it all over. But in the borders, the quilting adds to emphasize the applique pieces.
Echoing, right?
Because it's echo quilted. So that means that you go around the shapes, the applique shapes, and then you let those lines kind of merge together. And like if you dropped a block in a pond and you